So I will admit that when I see entitled kids, I totally judge those parents.
Yeah.
I'm like, seriously?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Like,
so do I.
yeah. And it's
I
really
mean,
frustrating.
I think
But I
when
mean, is it okay for them to be entitled? I don't know.
I
But
don't know either.
I straight up judge. I'm like, those parents are doing it all wrong.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Love SND. You are listening to Sheena, Nina, and Dipti. Today we are talking about something I read. So, have you guys listened to Dax Shepard's Armchair Expert podcast? You guys listen to that?
No.
No.
Okay, so in this last episode, he was talking about how him and his wife, Kristen Bell, raised their kids to be disrespectful and rude, and I think he actually mentioned that they're like entitled, and that's how they are encouraging their two girls to be. And so it just made me think about how we raise our kids and what like our subconscious is thinking, or even consciously what we're thinking about their futures, right? So I was actually just talking to Such about this. If our kids were rude or disrespectful, we would like pounce on them. Like it just would not happen in this household. And let's just start there. Do you guys encourage your kids to be disrespectful or be rude? So that, and maybe I should premise that with the fact that his whole thinking behind all of that is to encourage them to later in life when they are faced with difficult people or people being disrespectful to them, that they don't take sort of a passive tone, but that they are able to be disrespectful back. So what how do you feel about raising your kids that way?
I think being disrespectful and standing up for yourself is two completely different things. I don't know if they're just using disrespectful or entitled as just the words that they're choosing. I don't know that anybody would, say if an adult says something to you, don't listen or ignore them or roll your eyes or don't acknowledge them. Like, I don't know that that's a conscious decision versus if adult says something to you that you don't agree with, stand up for yourself.
Okay. Neen, what about you?
No, I agree with Sheena 100%. I never felt strong enough to stand up for myself. Like it was always like, okay, fine, you just go with the punches. But we're very much like if something is wrong, if something you don't agree with something, even if it's something that technically is the correct thing to do, you need to just say it. You don't have to be rude about it, but you should address it. You should stand up for yourself. And I think that whole being rude and disrespectful is very much a cultural thing that, we might see a behavior of somebody sticking up for themselves. Our parents might see that as being rude, whereas like, yeah, of course you should say that, do that. It's not rude. So I think there might be a generational connotation of that sort of behavior versus cultural, generational, all of it.
Yeah.
I don't know that everybody would think that that's rude behavior.
Here is where
Yeah.
I agree. I don't think I could stand for rude behavior. I think also because of the way that we've been raised to be polite and like actually be respectful. I don't think that I could raise the kids to be like whatever, say or do whatever you want. Because later in life, like if you are faced with a creep, I want you to be able to like, I don't know, punch him in the face. Like I think those are different lessons.
It didn't need to get
I mean,
violent,
that's
but
that's one
okay.
way to look at it.
We also can
I don't
just
know if that's
use
the
words.
first intervention.
No, if somebody tries anything with Zuri, seriously, like assault them. We'll figure it out after.
Your mom's
I'm
a
a
judge.
judge.
I got it. Okay.
Assault away. Okay.
No, but in seriousness, I think you're right. Like, I think that there is a difference between raising them to be disrespectful, but then raising them to stand up for themselves. My thing is, I often wonder is, am I raising them to be respectful and polite and do all the things the right way? Because the way they act is a direct reflection of the way I parent? Or is it because that is like the goal of their future is in my mind. You know, like the goal of how they turn out to be. So I'll give you a perfect example. Callan, as you know, is very sarcastic. He's gotten his sense of humor from such 100%. And the other day, we're at a friend's house, and he is sitting at the dinner table with all of us. And the hostess gets up and goes in the kitchen, and he goes like this. I'm so scared to move because I don't want my mic to go out. But he goes like this. Can you get me some water? And like, just like that, right? And I lost my shit. And I was like, what did you just do? And he's like, it was a joke, mom. And I was like, that's not a funny joke. We've talked about this over and over again about how you need to be aware of what's a funny joke and what's not a funny joke. And like, if you have a question about it, just don't make the joke. And then I was like, also there's appropriate jokes with adults, and then there's appropriate jokes with kids. Like if if you were to do that to your friend, maybe I wouldn't have flipped out, but you did it to an adult. And then I'm like reflecting on this, right? Like, first of all, I reflect on it and I'm like, I didn't need to flip out on him at that moment. But why
You
did
reflect
I?
that a lot. You really do reflect that a lot.
I do. But
Like, did
I
I
didn't
really
need
need to like scream and shout and flip out? Or could I just had a conversation?
But I
Could have
think
used my
that
words.
I think
Yeah.
in reflection, I think that the reason why a lot of times I do flip out when we're in a bigger space is like the fear of judgment. It's a fear of judgment for him, like that people will judge him, but then also judge me as a parent. Like, is she
Yeah, they
seriously not
will.
going to say
Yeah, of course
anything
they
that?
will.
Yeah, they will judge you.
Of
100%.
course. I mean, we
That's
walk
the
around
job of
judging
humans
parents too. Exactly.
all day long. Yeah.
But how much of that fear goes into your parenting? So let me ask you a couple of prompts and you tell me, are you, and be honest, okay? Okay. So you're in a group of aunties. Okay? Nina, let's start with you.
Wait,
You're going
aunties
to a
meaning
group.
our age, like my
No.
friends,
No,
or like
No.
Moms.
Our
Moms.
aunties. Okay?
okay, okay.
Now, Naya's chosen to wear high-waisted jeans and a crop top.
It always goes back to the
the
crop
crop
top.
top.
Always, every
Because
single
it's
bloody
like
time.
literally the most
full
real
circle.
example. What is your deal?
If
Are
it's
you
a mommy
telling her?
approved crop top, it's fine.
Okay, so you're letting her walk out to like mom's event, mom's house, or mom's auntie party, like her kitty party. Naya has to drop something off inside to Nani's kitty party event, and she's wearing high-waisted jeans and a crop top.
Yeah, as long as it's a mom approved, yeah, that's fine.
Which mom approved? Our mom or
Me,
you?
me. We're still working on the nanny approvals, okay? That's going to take some years.
That is
But
a
I don't think that they
bold-faced
own.
lie.
No, that's not. No,
No,
she
I
wears
think
it now.
No.
no,
No,
no, no.
Nina,
Hold
hold
on.
on. If
Stop,
she
stop,
was
stop.
to walk
Wait. If
into
she was going to the party, yeah, absolutely, she's not wearing that. But if she's dropping something off because Nani needs it, because that's life.
what's the
Hold on.
difference?
No.
You said
Hold on,
dropping
back it up.
something off versus attending the party. She ain't attending the
Okay,
party in jeans.
fine, she's attending the party.
That's different. She's going to be in like a Punjabi suit.
Oh my God, you're really trying to divert this question every single way you can. Let me answer it for you, okay? Let me
Go.
answer it for you. If she is in high-waisted jeans and a crop top that touches at the two
Yeah,
where
It
the
does
two
not.
meet,
It does not.
no. So then she will not be wearing that.
Yeah.
If it's
But
not
then it's not
touching where it
approved
meets,
anyway. It's not
no,
approved
stop,
anyway.
stop.
It's not
She
in the house.
she does wear shirts that do not touch her pants often. With us, which is fine. I don't think that's a bad thing. But
But
if
they're not
she's
high waisted
going,
jeans. She's
doesn't
Oh
wearing
my
matter.
them with
God,
If there's
pants.
space,
the point
if
was that
there's
her
space,
midriff is showing.
no. If her midriff is showing,
That was
she's
not
not wearing
the
that.
question.
No, you know that was the question. Get out of here.
That was
If the midriff is showing, she's not wearing that to Nani's. If the
correct.
midriff is not showing and it's still like cropped as far as like just touching, she's wearing that to Nani's. Period.
Correct.
Okay. Now, why isn't she wearing the midriff showing? Because is it that she should not be wearing those clothes, or is it because of your fear of
Getting yelled
judgment
at.
against her or you?
I got it.
Sheena
I got it.
knows.
It's so
Sheena
hard to have
knows.
an honest conversation. Nobody's
I know.
willing to be like,
Sheena
no,
knows.
I'm judged.
Hello, I
Right,
know.
yeah.
It's because the same reason that she doesn't wear a two-piece swimsuit, the same reason that the girls have these limitations, the same it's because we had those growing up out and not because mom felt judged. I feel like it's just the way it's like it's a perception of what you feel is respectful in a certain situation. Our perception. Maybe it's not like the world's. Like maybe the world is fine with her walking in a crop top, but for us, our perception of what is respectful in certain groups is our perception and we go by that. I'm sure that like that perception comes from a place of thinking that auntie might maybe. I don't even know. I don't know that I
Yeah.
think like, okay,
No,
the
it's
auntie's gonna be like,
100%
Yeah,
that.
because it would be like the auntie thinks that mom is did something
Allowing.
wrong to let me allow my kid. Like,
Yep.
what? This is like 3
but
generations
do
up,
you
but
think
fine.
all that through, or do you just think Nani's gonna kill you if you hook in like that? I don't know
Yeah,
that I
I'm gonna bear the brunt of all of it. So I'm like, you know what? It's not even worth it.
yeah.
It's not worth
But
it
is
for me
that
to be yelled at for like
not
3 weeks.
that's not your fear of judgment. It's you consciously deciding that mom's going to have that fear of judgment. So you don't want to deal with the backlash of it. You're not afraid of the auntie's judgment.
Okay, here's another example. Your kids are out with your friends and their kids, okay?
Okay.
And your kid is cursing up a storm.
Oh, hell no.
That's
Why?
definitely not, no, that's not the fear
Because
of
that's
judgment
just
from anybody else.
no
That's
thank
just,
you.
yeah, that's not how we are. That's not how we behave. That's not like, do you do that? Do you go out with mom and her friends and curse up a storm? Would you do
No,
that
no, they're cursing not with the adults. They're cursing up a storm.
in front of the adults?
No, they're like in their group
They're
of
like
friends, like in
in the
earshot.
boys are being boys or the girls
Would
are being girls.
would you
Exactly.
do
In
that?
earshot distance.
Yeah.
So you can obviously hear what they're
Yeah.
talking about, but they're all like all of them. The whole group is like cursing up a storm, and your kids are also cursing up a storm.
No.
No. And
You'd get a laugh.
Okay,
again, not
but also
because
both
I'm
of your husbands curse like madmen. I curse a lot. So now obviously the teaching is coming from home. Like they're talking how Sammy and Neil talk. Like just that's what they're doing. It's not like we are like these
I
clean, well-spoken people at home, okay? So don't
no.
even pretend like that's
I'm putting
that's the example we're setting.
I'm putting us in the kids' shoes, for example. Like if we were with our
No,
friends and our
different.
parents, hold on, we
Yeah.
wouldn't curse, right? Like we
That's
wouldn't curse.
completely different.
No,
That's a
but hold on.
generational difference. Yeah.
Yeah, but so then also this is a generational thing too,
No, no,
right?
no. But
We're
we didn't grow up listening to dad curse. I mean, when dad cursed, all of us were like, oh my God, dad, you said a bad word. Like that's
yeah.
these kids, our kids, are listening to us curse all day long. So it is a common. These are common words. These are not like shocking words when they're coming out of Sammy's mouth. Please agree.
I agree. I agree, but
Okay.
I feel like so he's not cursing when he's talking to me. He's
Well,
not
yeah.
cursing when he's talking to the kids. He's either cursing on a work call or
At his
or with
colleagues.
his friends or with his friends.
Right. So now they're
So,
also just cursing with their friends.
but now you're asking if they were in earshot of like grandparents or whatever.
No, not grandparents. It's you
Parent-
and
Our
your friends.
friends. Our friends.
I remember
I
when
feel like if it was like a group, it was like group mentality, right? So like if the whole group is cursing, you're probably not going to single out your kid for having used a bad word. You know what I mean? Like if the boys were in a group of
Okay,
boys and they're all just like bantering and somebody's throwing F bombs and S bombs and whatever they want to throw, but all the kids are just throwing these like words around, you're not going to be like, Sean, come over here. Why are you cursing? Meanwhile, the whole group is cursing. You would just probably be like, oh my God, these kids are so stupid and tell all of them to stop. Does that make sense? I don't know that we would be
okay,
like, oh
hold
my
on.
God, my kid cursed amongst all the kids cursing at the same time.
Okay, wait. Also, time out. These are hypothetical situations. Don't
Yeah.
actually imagine your kids doing this because Sheena can't get past that. Like, no, that would just
Yeah,
would
yeah.
not happen.
It's a
Hypothetical situation.
I know they wouldn't, but if they
I
did,
know.
would you flip your lid is the question. If they did.
If they
They're
were
not
the
going to,
only
but
ones.
if they did, no, not the only ones. The whole group is doing it.
Yeah, so then I agree with Nina. I don't think I'd
Yeah, you're just kinda
single them
like
out
they're
and
just
say, "No, that's not
yeah.
gonna work."
Okay, so would you
And
take
then maybe if
them
you got home, you'd be like, "Yeah, control your friends."
Yeah,
That's
Yeah, so
not
would you
okay.
have a conversation with them after the fact about like that's not how we talk or and the point of this is to ask you if in these situations you are parenting your children because your fear is how you or your children
Or
are
being
going to be
judged.
perceived and judged, or is it because this is how you truly want your kids to grow up? Now, the cursing thing is that the reality is that they are going to curse. They've grown
Of
up in a
course.
household where the adults curse. So
Yeah,
that's not that the to expect that they won't curse is not a reality. But when you tell them
right.
not to curse, what is leading that advice?
I also feel like if I hear even now, if I hear other people's kids curse, I'm not like, "Oh my god, their parents," or, "Oh my god, what kind of kid
yeah,
are they?" Like, they're I don't it doesn't because we do it and we've heard other like, our whole generation is very stressed out. So,
yeah.
there are a lot of words flying all over the place.
Yeah, I'll give you a perfect
I don't
example.
know, I'm
The
not
boys
phased by it.
and kids curse all the time on the field. Like the parents are sitting right there. All the kids have potty mouths all the entire game, beginning to end. Okay, and it's like with other teammates, or if they're frustrated with themselves, or with like they're just like going back with the opposing team, whatever. It's all happening on the field. But once they leave that field, it's over. Like So I say all the time, like that field is a different ball game than when they're off the field, and they know that too, like, and so, for me, I don't feel like, "Oh my god, do not use that language." I feel like it's a nature of your surrounding in any given situation, so I'm not, like, telling the boys, "Watch your mouth, there are parents here." Like, I just feel like where it's appropriate. I'm not feeling like, "Oh my god, they're gonna judge me because my kids are cursing on
Okay,
the field."
the point she's trying to make is that when we're creating rules and boundaries and all of that, is it because we don't want our friends and their parents to judge us because of the way our kids behave? So for example, if Naya walks in a crop top and low waist jeans to Nani's house at her kitty party, whatever judgment they make of her, they're automatically saying, "Oh my god, what kind of mom is Nina?"
Yeah,
Right? It's not about what Naya did, it's about what I let her do.
yeah,
So that's the translation she's
but
trying to
aren't
get out of us.
so aren't we always raising our
So
kids with that element,
well, that's her point.
okay.
So I will admit that when I see entitled kids, I totally judge those parents.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Seriously?"
Mhm.
Yeah,
Like
so do I.
yeah, and it's
I
really
mean,
frustrating.
I think
But, I
when
mean, is it okay for them to be entitled? I don't know.
I
But
don't know either.
I straight up judge. I'm like, "Those parents are doing it all wrong."
Yeah. No, I mean, I judge you guys
I
know this.
cannot
I
do
complain to you guys all the time about how much I judge.
No, I mean, we were
yeah.
at the Halloween parade and these like itty bitty little girls were wearing teeny tiny little costumes and it was freezing outside. And I was like,
I know.
what is that mother thinking? And so, like, of
You're
course,
so funny.
immediate judgment. I'm like,
You're
what?
you're in such a different place of judgment than I am. Like, I'm like,
Let's
does
talk
that
about how
parent
judgy we all are.
I'm like,
I
does
love
that
that.
parent have like no awareness of their children? And like the like you I talk about this all the time, how I feel so frustrated by parents who don't have awareness and accountability of their own children. Like it frustrates me. I'm sure I don't either sometimes, but like obviously I can't see it for myself. But
But you're
that's what I
also a
judge the
helicopter mom,
most.
so
Yeah. No,
I
but
know.
even helicopter parents have it. Like it's just like my kids are perfect. They can do no wrong. No, they're not. But okay. Like,
Well,
that's when
that's
I
you.
feel like I judge. I
Yeah.
feel like I judge there.
Yeah.
No, no, no. I don't think they're perfect. They're pretty close, but
I
not
mean,
perfect.
I think that I also tend to now reflect on my judgment because I've realized how little control I have over these kids, right? Like, even when they're in my presence, they're doing stupid shit. And I'm like, what? What? Like, where
why?
did you
Why?
even learn
Why?
to snap your fingers and summon water, right?
I can't get over that. It's never it's
Bollywood. Stop letting them watch all these Indian movies.
But it goes to show how little we do have control over them. We can teach them and we can give them the rules and the boundaries and whatever, but ultimately we have no control over what they're doing out in the world. So if parents
No
are going to
control?
judge them, we essentially need to let them judge. I mean, if parents are going to judge us for the way our kids are acting out in the world, we essentially have to let them because like how can we control our kids?
Or you
Right?
can't
We
control
we
those
can give them
judgments,
family
nothing.
values, we can give them all the rules and boundaries, but ultimately it's up to them to follow them, right?
Yeah. I mean, you can't,
Yeah.
Nina says it all the time.
But
You can't control other people's opinions. You can only control your
100%.
Everybody's
actions.
entitled to their own. That's right.
Absolutely. But like I'll give you another example which literally just fell out of my brain as I was saying I'll give you another
Hi, Sheena.
example.
Nice to
My
meet
God,
you.
the two of you, seriously.
And I
Oh
even
my
eat
word.
almonds. Can you believe that? It's
Y'all look
crazy.
great at
Oh,
house.
okay, so we went to a friend's house um for Halloween and they had this like what's the word animatronic? Is that it?
What?
It's
I
like
don't even
those
know what you're talking about.
electronic
Game trucks?
skeletons that move,
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
right? Like if you go
Okay.
near it, it'll like pop
Yeah,
up
ha
and say
ha
yeah,
something. Yeah,
yeah,
ha.
exactly.
yeah.
Pretty sure it's called animatronic. But anyway.
Okay.
So these are expensive things, right? So like
Yeah.
my kids see it and they go up to it and they start smacking it around and I'm like, "Holy hell." So the host was like, "Hey guys,
Don't
like
be that kid.
literally. The host was like, "Hey guys, like maybe don't touch it because like, it'll break. Like it can break." No, my kids like do not understand the concept because they're like, this thing is so cool. Like I want to do everything. Like I want to touch it and smack it and see what it's gonna do.
And
Kids being
when I
kids.
can
And
break it, yeah.
so exactly. So I'm like, holy hell. So then I told them don't touch it. They still touched it. And then at that point I was like, this host is going to think that like my kids don't listen to any adult or their parent. And I lost my shit on the kids.
Well, okay.
Cue Dipsy. I know.
Hold on.
You know what I should do? I should take all the little snippets of me saying, and I lost my shit on my kids, and like make an entire reel of it on this spot. It'd be hours and hours long.
But okay.
We
Wait,
don't have enough days in the year for that.
Yeah.
question for you right there in that example. Did
Yeah.
you lose your shit because you were thinking about what the host would think, or did you truly lose your shit because they were told multiple times and they weren't listening? Like, were you really thinking,
I
oh my
think
God, the host is going to think that they don't listen to me and they don't listen to any adults? Or were you like, dude, I'm telling you to do something that's the right thing to
And you're
do and
not
you're not
listening to me.
listening
Yeah.
and it's very frustrating?
I think it was a combination. It was 100% a combination because like again, like when the host sees that they're touching the thing again, it's like, oh, like he's gonna think that I'm just like this parent who isn't able to control their kids. And honestly, sometimes I am that parent that I can't control them. They're kids. What do you want me
But
to do?
all parents
But
of kids are those parents. Like, it's not like you're the only one that can't control them.
100%. And
Like, a lot of
they
kids have those
also
parents.
had these kids at some point in their lives. But again, it's that fear of like, oh man, is he gonna think that I'm a bad parent because I couldn't like get my kids to just listen and not touch the damn thing? I don't know. It's like it's always a factor, right? It's always part of my parenting because it's like I don't want the world to look at you. I mean, there's so I could list examples for days of things that Callan does where I'm like, "Oh, just don't do that."
But also, like, let the kid live, bro. My
I
God.
know. I
But
have this conversation all
choose
the
your
time.
battles. Just
I
choose your
know.
Yeah.
battles. Not all of them are worth it.
I also feel like there's a lot of this that's just focused on the negative part. But then when
Mhm.
we get praised for something, are we,
Mhm.
I don't even
also like,
remember. Yeah.
"Oh, great job for like blah 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 blah." Like when people are always like, "Oh my God, Naya and Neva are like the kindest girls. They always come up to us and they do this and they say that and blah blah blah." I'm not like, "Great job, girls." It's like,
I
that was
am.
expected. That was me. That was all me. And we all go like this, right?
I
It's
am.
just
I am.
Yeah, but you also it makes you
I
feel
have
good
only
as a parent, though, right?
course,
It's like a
what
positive
Right.
parent
But
doesn't
judgment.
that's
feel
what I'm
good?
saying. That's like
It's
we're
positive
always just
judgment.
Yeah,
focused on like the
the negatives.
being kind of like negatively judged, but like
Yeah.
there's positive stuff happening too that if we just gave that more weight, maybe the negative stuff would dissipate a little bit.
Yeah.
I
What
think
you
it's also
think
an
is
age
what you
thing.
see.
It's also
What?
an age thing. It's also an age thing. Like your kids are very little, so they're always just like causing havoc.
They're
Whereas
not
ours are a
that
little bit
little.
older.
We're not going to
Ours are
keep saying that.
way older.
We said that to Dipple
Zuri's
until
4.
she was 42, which is like next
That's
year.
40.
what we've been excusing all this time. She's little. It's okay. She's
She's
little. She
little.
doesn't know.
She's little. I'm like, Mom. She's like
She-
40. 4 0 decades. 4 decades old.
Okay, let me give you guys another example. So you're out in public, let's say at a Christmas party. You're with like all your neighbors and their friends and all this stuff, and one of the kids comes up to you and starts throwing an enormous tantrum because they don't want to stay.
Eat vanilla ice cream.
No.
I was just going to say that.
Aw,
Been
in my
there,
mind-
done that. Like,
in my
literally.
mind, it was Cyan.
Oh, it's been science since like birth. So
That's funny.
Okay, they don't want to eat the food there. Okay, also the concern of them starving does not exist. They had a meal
Okay.
before, okay? So just everybody chill with the
Sheena.
hypothetical.
Sheena.
Like that wouldn't happen. My kids love to eat. Like, oh my God,
Yeah.
forget it.
Sheena would be like, here's some Rothley. I brought it in my pocket.
Oh, 100. Last night we went to Pho. I'm like, you guys better eat something before we.
See?
Just in case.
Oh, did they eat?
They did.
Like
They
at the
did.
restaurant, they liked it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mhm.
nice. Good.
Anyway, carry on. So they don't eat the food there. I'm not bringing Rotli.
No, so they're not just saying, I don't want to eat. They are throwing a full on embarrassing tantrum. Like, what the hell? There's nothing to eat. Like, what do you want me to do? Let's go. Like, take me somewhere to eat. There's nothing here to do. What is your response? And is it fueled by your fear of judgment?
So that's literally happened. Literally to the T. But he was very little. Like it's not even like you can reason with him, be like, we'll try to
what
get
about
you
if
some
it was
after.
now, Sheen?
Yeah.
What if it was
Oh my
now?
God, I would be humiliated if
There
it was
you
as
go.
a teenager.
There
I'd be
you go.
like,
That's where we're trying to get to with this. We understand at 3 years old, but
if it was now, I would literally leave him there. Like, I feel I wouldn't. I don't
yeah,
know.
it
I'd
would
leave.
be
I'd
like,
leave.
oh my God, everybody's going to think I'm a nut job.
No,
and this
I'd
is
be like,
my
oh my
kid.
God, everybody's gonna think he's a nut job, which he probably is. But that is a direct reflection of like your mom can't even like make you understand to compromise or like, like be adjust. We say it to him all the time though. We say it to all of them all the time. Like you have to adjust. You just have to adjust and like think of a solution. Like for example, whatever it is, like, we go somewhere, there's no desserts without nuts. Just adjust. Like, okay, I can't have it right now. I'll either have something at home or I'll have something tomorrow. It's okay. But it's very hard for them to understand that because probably they're so entitled. Thanks to us.
Mm. What if
You know?
he went up to the host and was like, can you DoorDash me some Taco Bell?
I would disown him. I would
Be
literally,
slitting some throats.
I would
Tick,
send
tick.
him to one of you and be like, you guys figure it out. Not happening.
Okay, which I mean, just like in this hypothetical, it is a solution that he's figured out on his part. You know what? Let me just go up to the host and be like, can you find me some other food? There's nothing like, I don't like anything here. Now, to you, is that like
Mortifying.
To me, I would be literally humiliated. And to me, I would hope that instead of that as his solution, he would just say, hey, do you have anything in your refrigerator that I can maybe put together to
What if
eat?
you're at a
Because I
hall?
can't.
At a hall.
I would hope that he'd be like, Dad, can you DoorDash something for me
And what
instead
if
of
Sammy said
asking the
no?
host?
What if Sammy said no?
I'm just gonna
Everybody
live
said
with the
no.
embarrassment?
And then he went up to the host.
would you say something to Cyan? Are you parenting at that point? Like, are you saying, hey, Cyan, like that's not okay. You need
Of
to,
course.
right. again, you told him are you telling him it's not okay to do that because you don't want to be judged as a parent or because it's truly not okay to do that? Be-
It's truly not like, I
Wait,
hope that he would
time out.
know that it's truly not okay to do that.
Is it not okay to
However,
do that?
if
No.
someone else's kid came up to you at your party and said, "Hey, I'm really hungry. I can't eat anything that's here. Would you mind ordering me some pizza?" Would you be like, "Are you kidding right now?" Or would you be like, "Yeah,
No.
of course, no problem. Go
No,
see if
I would
anybody else wants some."
100% be like, "Of course, no problem. I'll do it."
Exactly.
I
And then you would go home and judge them.
No, I wouldn't do that
These parents
either.
didn't feed their kid before they came and he's
No,
starving.
They didn't have
no.
Rootley in their pocket. Can't even believe it. What kind of
I feel
parents
like
are
it's
they?
also different because, like, I mean, we did that too. Like, remember when we went to your friend's house and we were like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
our kids can't eat anything here. We just like
Yeah, we DoorDash pizza.
we DoorDash pizza and it
Yeah,
was
no, that's
fine.
like
Like they weren't
that's on
offended or
you.
nothing.
That's like you did it yourself.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking if we had asked the host, she would have happily done it too.
Happily.
Happily. She would have
So
happily,
so okay, so
but
now
as a
you're
parent,
parenting. So that's the perfect example. Now you're parenting for them to say when you're doing it in this setting, it's okay because these are like family friends. But when you're doing it in that setting, don't you dare do it because those parents will judge and those parents will think, what child
We're
is
rude.
this
You're
coming
rude.
to
Yeah, this is all
coming
rude.
asking
Yeah.
me to buy him like special food?
yeah, I think it's very situational, right? Isn't it? Like, I think it is. If it's a
Yeah.
family or friend, perfectly fine. Go ahead and ask. If not, I would say just adjust and try to say, okay, I'll have something to eat after or whatever. Just make a little adjustments depending, like it's very situational, I think. But yes, I would be mortified if he randomly we were at a wedding and he's like, by the way, bride, I can't eat any of the food you ordered for your wedding event. Can you DoorDash me Taco Bell?
It's totally happening at the next wedding.
It's
Oh
gonna
my
happen
God, we
at
should
one
do
of
it
their
as an
weddings.
experiment.
We're gonna be in Italy
Like,
for
ready,
Jenny's
science?
wedding. Excuse me, Jenny. There's nothing for me to eat here. DoorDash
Poor
me.
Jenny would probably get them something.
Do it.
She'd be like, I'm going to order an entire restaurant
I'm
just
gonna
for
go
you.
cook for you. Tell my mom.
Hold on, Barrage. I'll be right back. Cyan needs to eat pasta.
Neen, where do
Oh.
you land in that example?
I feel like I
Yeah,
forgot the
same.
original example.
Same. Yeah, I would be mortified. I would just
But
straight up be mortified.
situationally, right?
Yeah.
Like if it was someone we knew or whatever at a home
Yeah.
or at a birthday party, fine. Like at that birthday party, for example, if Sign was now 13 and doing the same thing, and he asked the host to DoorDash him chocolate ice cream, I'd be mortified because it's not that serious. It's not like you need ice cream, but if you're hungry and you need a
But do you
meal,
think the host would be mortified
yeah,
or judgy or anything?
yeah. I mean, I would, right? Like this is a kid's
I
third.
might just be like, it's a kid, whatever. And then I
Yeah.
tell Neil to DoorDash it.
I agree. If
I
a
don't
kid
probably
came
be
up
able
to
to
me
figure
and
out
was
how.
like, I want food, can you order it? I
Food is
absolutely
different.
would.
Yeah. Food is fine. But like if the kid was like, you have a vanilla ice cream cake and I really want chocolate, can you DoorDash it for me? You wouldn't be like,
Yeah, I would judge. I
Yeah,
would
but then on the
100%
one
judge.
hand, isn't like when you, let's say now you reflect on this situation, okay? You reflect, this is days later, and you think, Cyan didn't like anything to eat, and he went up to the host and he was like, "Hey, guy, I'm sorry, there's literally nothing for me to eat here. Do you mind just door dashing me like something quick?" Like upon reflection, would you think like that was actually pretty resourceful of him? That was polite. He asked in a polite way. He figured out how to fix the problem. Like in the moment you were thinking, man, what is this parent going to think or this parent going to say? But upon reflection, do you ever think, you know what, he figured it out for himself? I understand in the parenting part,
oh,
like when you're
yeah,
parenting and you're talking to them, I understand you're going to tell them all the things, like come to me, right? Like that would
Yeah.
have been your
yeah.
first solution.
No. So to answer your question, yes, I'd be like, okay, good. You saw a problem. You figured out how to fix it. You tried it. If it
Yeah.
means that I'm being judged, fine, maybe okay, that's fine. But and next time,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
Better
But
not
next
be a
time,
next
you
yeah.
figured
time.
it out. You figured it out, but maybe
Yeah.
next time don't like go to the host or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Again,
guess
food, fine. Ice cream, no, not fine.
Yeah. I guess the point is that there is a line between raising a
Mhm.
kid who is resourceful and confident and able to figure shit out as opposed to raising one that can say or do or ask for anything they want.
Yeah, so a line between being resourceful respectfully versus being
Resourceful as
demanding
an a-hole.
disrespectfully. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if you ask nicely, and same thing, like, we talk about this all the time, delivery is key, right?
Yeah.
So in those two situations, I don't feel like, that's why I say raising a kid that's disrespectful and entitled versus confident and able to adjust
Resourceful.
is two different
Yeah.
things, you
Yeah.
know?
I just find that my kids are very young, so maybe it is that you guys can't relate or forget how to relate, but it's just that they'll say and do things that they don't know yet
Yeah, of
is
course.
not right. But
Right.
but my immediate reaction is embarrassment or
Mm.
like the fear of that parent being like, what the hell is this mom teaching them? Because it's just a natural reaction for people to have. But like, why do I care? I don't care. I mean, I shouldn't care.
Well,
I care
well,
very
okay,
Nobody
much.
cares.
here's a different question.
Yeah.
So remember in Rocky or Ronnie when he goes to live with her parents and they're literally judging him left and right all day long. And then
Yeah.
they say something like they make a comment and he's like, how am I ever supposed to learn if this is what I was taught was right
Yeah.
and it's not okay in society? Whatever it was. It
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
calling something Chinese food or whatever
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was in the
Yeah.
movie.
Or
So
calling your
so
sister Golu when she's
y- yeah,
heavy, but
it's
like
that term
fat
of
shaming.
shaming.
Yeah.
endearment, but yeah, but it's
Versus
body
fat
shaming.
shaming, yeah.
Yeah. So then if so say your child went up to the host and said XYZ, can you or DoorDash me food? And the host was like, "Hey bud, that's actually not appropriate to ask me. Maybe you should go ask
Your
your
parent.
parents or blah blah blah." Would you be like so offended like you're parenting my kid? Sheena's already like, "Yo,
Buy
you
my
told
kid
my
the
kid
food.
no?"
Oh my god.
Come with
I
Pippa
would
in your
say
pocket.
that.
Huh?
I would say that.
See? But how are kids, like to Dip's point, how are kids supposed to know if they don't know these are the rules of society?
Yeah.
So is it okay to parent each other's kids? Not like slap
Situational.
them around. Not slap them
No,
around.
Situational,
it
I'm
is
just
I
saying.
feel.
absolutely situational because
So
because
situational
also
again.
there are topics in life that even amongst the three of us we wholeheartedly disagree with each other, right? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I I, I I can't come up with the point right now, but oh, the perfect
In
example is
general,
the way
yeah.
Naya the things Naya wants to wear.
The
You
crop
are on
tops.
the one end of the spectrum,
Sure.
and I would say I'm on the other end of the spectrum. So like, and no, I'm closer to her, and she is on the other end of the spectrum. But
Mm.
like, I wouldn't ever parent her about that. Like and
Yes, you
I'm
would.
sure you
You
wouldn't
guys
want
have
me
parented her
to.
about it. But
I
would you
mean,
parent someone
to
else's kid? Like if someone else's kid rolled up in like a sports bra
no, I
I
and
wouldn't
wouldn't
say
low-rise
parent
anything.
jeans.
them.
I wouldn't say anything. I would judge that parent hardcore.
But
We
then if
do
Naya
that.
did, would you tell her?
Yes.
Yeah, 100% you
Well,
would tell her.
I would.
I love how it's always Naya. Like the other two are so good. They
Such
understand mommy. Naya, on the other hand,
But
takes after her
the
mussies.
great thing that I still think about Naya is that she still is who she is. Like she's not
I
afraid
know
of the
that. I
judgment
know
or
that.
there is I feel like it's almost a blessing that she has the balls to come up to you and be like, I want to wear this. We did not have those balls with mom. Like
We didn't even ask though. We
yeah.
didn't ask.
It
Yeah,
wasn't an
exactly. We
What we
did.
option.
That's
wanted.
what I'm saying. The topic of conversation did not exist. We wore what we knew we were allowed to wear, and that was it. Naya has
No,
this
but
like the I think the fact that she still has the ability to like
Fight for it. Fight
right
for it.
and the confidence to wear it.
Yeah. But also I think that what I respect about her is that I'll say no, find a compromise, and she will work and work until she finds that compromise. so that we're both happy. She's not
Yeah.
like, "I don't care what you say, I'm gonna wear it
Yeah,
anyway."
yeah,
She's
yeah.
not
Yeah.
that kid, which
Yeah.
thank God.
So, like,
But,
Yeah.
she
you know
takes she it's hard for me to put this into words. It's like they are not responsible for our fears of judgment. Does that make sense? Like, they should
Yeah.
not have to act a certain way or speak a certain way or filter what they eat or what they can eat because we are scared that another parent is going to judge us.
I
But
mean, let's just
that's how
talk
we're
about that for a second.
parenting.
Let's just talk about that for
Okay.
a second. So we went to dad's birthday dinner last night. And at this restaurant, every single time the girls get wings. And so Naya's like, I'm
Oh,
not coming
shit.
because I can't eat. I was like, "Yeah, there are all these other things on the menu, but okay." She's like, I can't come. And I'm like, it's fine. You can eat wings. So we put her on the other end and whatever, whatever. And she did. And like nobody said anything. And she goes to mom's like, oh, come sit near me. And she's like, no, Nani, I might eat meat. So I'm not going to sit near you. And mom goes, it's okay, beta. Just come sit near me. She didn't, obviously. but
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 then she
like
goes, Shaylin,
that's
you
a
want to try
huge
it?
I know. It's like
I
no.
was like, can we take baby steps here? Nani's just about to like let you sit at the
She
same
just turned the
table.
page at age 14. Like, give it a minute. But yeah, so like
Sheena goes, Nani just let you sit at the table.
yeah.
It's like,
We don't need to.
But that typically that fear would be like, okay, Naya, you stay home. We'll DoorDash you something at home. Or we're all gonna go eat dinner for Nana's birthday. But it
but
was
that's been
kind
a
of like,
slow
okay,
burn too. Like
yeah.
at the
It's
beginning, you would
been
have been like, you would just stay home.
yeah. We'll all
But
stay
that's been a
home.
slow burn.
Forget it. We're not going to dinner.
You know what? As you guys are seeing this, I'm thinking about us just as adults now and how, well, Dipti and I, less Nina, when we have to go to a wedding event with family, Dip and I will literally triple check with mom about what we're wearing. Nina definitely won't. But she gets in trouble. But like, isn't that the same thing? Like we have been raised that way, knowing that mom will be mortified if we show up in like the wrong outfit or the wrong jewelry or whatever because of her fear of judgment of like, you guys are Nina Jeweler's daughters. You should be dressed a certain way and wearing like a certain amount of jewelry and a type of jewelry. And I'm like, and we're just like, we don't, you know,
Yeah.
GAF, but
But
like,
but
but we
but
do
I
it
also think that's
because,
self-created, right? Like who actually is judging that? Do you think people are
but
actually
that's
like,
the fear. It's
oh,
the
did you see
fear
what
of
they wore or they
judgment.
didn't wear? Yeah.
But it's the fear of judgment.
And
Nobody probably is judging it. I'm sure nobody gives a rat's butt what we're
yeah,
wearing, but I'm just saying, like, the fear of judgment by mom.
you didn't
We
say a
still
rat's
live
butt.
by the try not to curse. Remember, we're teaching our
During a rat's
kids.
butt.
I'm teaching my kids no such thing. Like, there's appropriate cursing at appropriate times. The point that I was trying to make, which is exactly what you just made, Sheen, is that then it became our responsibility to
Manage that fear.
appease
Uphold.
mom's
Yeah.
fear of
Mhm.
judgment, right?
Mhm.
Are we passing that along to our kids? I feel like I absolutely am.
I'm sure we are.
I
Yes.
try to tell them to go out in society and be kind and be respectful and do all the good things. But that's really just me saying I don't want people to think that you guys are these unruly, you know, these disrespectful
Psychopaths.
kids because that's how you're being raised at home.
But don't you want that for them anyway? Like, do you only want that for them because of your fear of judgment, or do you just want that for them anyway? Like, you want them to be
As a
kind,
human.
respectful,
So
confident kids.
I'll give you a good example, which is really the main example of my life. And I probably won't put this in the podcast, but the example that I always use is Callan, right? Like being this like flamboyant boy, right? Like wanting to wear fake nails and wanting to like do all the like things, right? To me, when he goes out in the world, I literally pray that like he tones it down because I don't want people to judge him and I don't want people to judge me. And I don't want and so
But I don't
and so I I don't say anything to him because I want him to be who he is. Right. And but it takes the life out of me to not say anything. It takes the life out of me to not say, hey, Cal, when you're in this certain situation or this certain setting, don't be like that. Because I don't want him to think that there's something wrong with being like that. Right.
You
Even if
should read that book I'm reading.
Yeah.
The one that I was
Which
reading on
one?
the plane. Haven't finished it yet.
Is it
It's
that good?
literally
That was
that.
like
It's
weeks ago.
literally that. I know.
It's that
I know.
good?
Actually, I can't find it.
Mm.
It's literally about that. What were you gonna say, Neen?
No, I was gonna say in that certain scenario, I don't think anyone's judging you. Yes, they'll judge him because that's society, but no one's like, "Oh, what kind of parent is Dip? Oh, I can't believe Dip is raising this
No, but, like,
kid
Dip
like
lets him
this."
wear fake nails, and Dip lets him I mean, that's literally the only
Where
thing that he
chunderis.
does. Yeah, like, Dip lets him play around with the chundari, or, like, Dip lets him act like Dip lets him be like this at home. That's why he's comfortable being like this out in the world.
So you care?
I do care, but I will never say anything to him.
How do you get to a place where you don't care?
I don't know. I don't
Ask
know,
your
Because
but
therapist.
you literally read Mel Robbins' Let Them theory,
yeah, no,
and it's all
100%,
good.
100%. It
Yeah.
is all good. But that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't want my fear of judgment. I am trying to
To
like break
cripple
the
him,
cycle.
to cripple
Exactly. Like,
him.
I don't
Yeah.
want him to be raised, I mean, in a very kind of toned down way, the way we were raised, right? Like, it is our responsibility to make sure mom isn't judged. It is not his responsibility to make sure I'm not judged, right? I have no control, and we had no control whether somebody was going to judge mom or not, right? Like, we could have showed up in the nines and somebody would be like, why are they so dressed up for this occasion? But,
Yeah, yeah,
there
there
was
was
no
always something.
controlling
There's
that.
always yeah.
In the same way, there's no real controlling how our kids are going to be perceived and then how those parents are going to perceive us. So, like, I'm trying very hard to not put that responsibility on him, but yeah, it's a difficult thing to do.
So I just had this conversation with one of
Are
our
we back on the
cousins this
podcast?
morning. Yeah, I think
Okay.
we've been for a little bit. Um, I just had a conversation earlier with one of our cousins this morning about when you hyper focus on something, anything, that's all that presents itself, right? It's
Yeah.
like the whole theory of manifesting.
Yeah.
You activate your reticular activating system in the front, and then that's like, oh, I love red cars, and then all you see are red
Mhm.
cars, or right, whatever. So if you're constantly like, oh, I don't want to be judged. I feel like I'm going to be judged, da 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 da, judged, da da da, judged. Then all you see are the moments when you're being judged.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what I'm saying? So
100%.
like, I feel like if we just took some of that pressure off of like, it is as it shall be,
Yeah. But
Or
then
maybe
and that
also,
remind
decisions are
yourself.
happening, huh?
Remind yourself. Like some people
Yeah,
say, like in the mornings you have all these manifestation or whatever, like just
yeah,
reminders of things. Like every morning when you read those manifestations or reminders, remind yourself that
yeah.
of these things. Like it is as it should
yeah.
be. I don't. I
Yeah. But then
I don't have
also,
control over other people's
yeah.
judgments
But then
and
also to put
opinions.
like also to tell your kids like I said this to you or I yelled at you or I got annoyed at you because of me, like my fear of judgment and that's
Yeah,
not on you. That's a me problem, not a you problem. So like you did the right thing by trying to figure out how to get food, right? Like the best solution you found in your brain was to ask the host for food to DoorDash you some food. I understand that. The next time, the you should probably just ask me. But I got mad because I was scared that I was going to be judged, and that is not your responsibility, right? Like you are not responsible for my fears of judgment.
Yeah. Let me give you another example quickly. I think one of my biggest like not issues, just things that I like yell at the boys about is just communication and like sorry, communication and like the lack of, making eye contact and having conversations or just like, you know, being polite in a way of like, how are you, Mr. So and so? How was your day? Whatever. Just like instead of like, hi, bye, yes,
yeah,
no.
robotic.
Yeah. And I'm like, and for me, I'm like, I want kids that have these conversations or know how to communicate with their peers, adults, grandparents, like every generation and like have these conversations. And so I'm really hard on them, but I know that comes from a place of it being a direct reflection of how I'm raising them and how we're teaching them to be because like Sammy's very social. You guys know that. And so am I to a point. So I'm like I want you guys to be that way too because it's important in life, right?
Yeah,
And of course like part of me is like I don't want kids where parents are like, they don't even talk. They're just in their phones. They don't communicate. They don't make eye contact. But I also think it's like a very good life skill to
Yeah.
have.
But do
So,
you feel like you're judging the kids that do all those things? They don't make eye
um,
contact, they're always
I,
on their phones.
I
Are you
definitely
judging
noticed
the
them
kid? Are you judging the kid or are you judging
both.
their parent?
Both.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm
Both.
Yeah.
also judging the kid that does the opposite. Like I'll
Yeah.
always point out, and I'll be like, look at Brian, whatever, for example. Look at how he makes such like good eye contact, has conversation, will ask you a question beyond how are you? Like, how was your weekend or how's your podcast going or whatever. Like, if they know you that like that. If not, then like, what are your plans for the summer? Anything, just like
Yeah.
one thing beyond how are you? I judge those kids too in a positive way.
Yeah. And
I
those
feel like that's a
parents.
big thing. And those parents,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's a
So,
big one for
yeah.
us, I think.
That is
I'm
I
actually,
think
yeah.
yeah.
That is a big
constantly
one.
on their
Yeah.
But the
on them
phone
about that.
the reliance on devices has definitely driven that, right? They
Yeah.
don't even have opportunities to look up at somebody and say hi, hello. They'll literally be sitting with their friends at a dinner table or at like Chipotle. Oh, everybody's on their phone.
Everybody's on
You
their
look
phones.
around on a train, everybody's on their phone.
Yep.
You look
Yeah.
around on
Mhm.
a bus or a bus stop, everyone's on their phone. So Gary Vee just had released an episode where he's like, we're coming upon an inflection point where even kids now are going to realize what a waste of life these devices are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're going to put it away and say, let's go play. Let's go out and build something. Let's go create something.
Yeah.
Because
Touch
I
wood.
think, I think these phones and devices have become crippling to this generation
Yeah.
Yeah.
because they feel like they're connected through a screen
Mhm.
versus through humans. And once like the robots start taking over, the only actual gift you're going to have is that of human connection.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
if you don't know how to do that, you're screwed. Like
Yeah.
literally screwed.
Can I
Yeah.
ask you, just to bring it back to the topic, do you
Mm.
guys judge parents whose kids you see constantly on their phone?
Yeah.
Like at a dinner
I
table
find it
Yeah,
or
at
at
a
a
dinner table.
frustrating.
Yeah.
restaurant. Yeah. 100%. I do.
Now, do
I
you
do.
tell your kids to put their phones away in fear of judgment?
No, I truly
No, I
tell them
just
to put it
hate
away
phones.
because I want, not because I'm like that parent's going to be like, what kind of kid is that? I truly want them to learn
Yeah.
how to have conversations and make
Socialization.
human,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
I mean that it does not come from a place of like fear of judgment that I'm letting them use their phones. It's more of a fear of like, are you ever going to learn how to communicate with people?
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
I
And the
I hate
judgment
phones, you
part
already
comes
know.
from of like, it comes from a place of like I said, like I give positive judgment to the kids that have these conversations. I want that for mine. Like I
Mm.
always want, I'm like, I want someone to say to me, God, your kids are great at communicating
Yeah. Yeah.
versus they don't know the first thing to say, you know?
Yeah. All right. Well, that is our insanely long episode.
Some of
But
it
I
will
think
get
Some of
it's
cut.
it's
just,
getting cut out, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
guys. Well, that's our episode on whether or not we parent with guilt and judgment or with purpose and intent. And maybe they just go hand in hand, honestly. But we'd love to hear your take on whether you are putting the responsibility of the fear of other parents judging you on your kids or whether you're trying to break that insane cycle. You can find all of our podcasts on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. We are at Love SND Podcast on Instagram, where we're constantly chatting it up with you guys. And until next time, thanks for listening. With love, SND.
Bye.
Bye.